Hello, this is Dave for That's Us Gaming, and welcome to Dave's Ramblings, where I'll basically talk your ear off about things I find interesting on the internet. Now, recently I have been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and one thing that has really stuck out for me with that game is just the sheer fantastic level of voice acting. Now, in this game, it's almost like they've taken an absolute dice roll on the accents, because the main character you play as, Rex, sounds like bloody Vernon Kay. Hey up, Gramps, you alright? That sort of accent, the North English accent. And then you've got Nia, the cat girl you first meet up with, and she's very Welsh. She talks like this, and she says she's gonna thump you and all that. And I was really taken back. It's nice. It's really nice to have some form of representation in games. Not so much just Welsh, but by like proper British accents, not by and Mr. American Man, can you do a British accent so we don't have to outsource some bloody voice acting to somebody else? And in fact, I looked up the voice actress for Nia, because she sounds so Welsh that it sounds like it's just put on. And I had to check, and she is Welsh. She's been in a number of shows on S4C, which is a Welsh language only broadcasting station, including Pobl, and I was really impressed, because 9 times out of 10 they would just turn around to somebody and say, oh well, you any good with accents? We need to save money, yeah, do this. But they really went and actually took the time to get somebody who was actually Welsh. Now, while I was thinking about this, I started to think about how much voice acting in games just makes up so much of your experience. Now, I really liked David Hayter as Snake, and I thought Metal Gear Solid 5, when they brought Kiefer Sutherland in, I thought that was an absolute travesty. And it's not that he wasn't any good, but he wasn't Snake. David Hayter has been Snake since Metal Gear Solid, and they tried saying, oh, but it's Big Boss. But he was Big Boss in Snake Eater. That didn't stop them casting David Hayter, because they know he's Snake. And they could say, oh, well, actually, he's a bit older. Well, Christ, he was old enough in Metal Gear Solid 4. He put on the old grizzled chops. There was no amount of excuse they could have thrown out other than, well, Kiefer Sutherland is my A-list celebrity friend and I really like him and I want to put him in the game. That is pretty much what it was. My mate's an A-list celebrity, shove him in the game. That really annoyed me. Another one was Dead Rising 4, where rather than the iconic Frank West, you had some fucking caricature. That's all. It wasn't Frank West. Fuck, it was closer to Fred West. It was ridiculous. He doesn't look like Frank West. He doesn't sound like Frank West. He doesn't behave like Frank West. I mean, Dead Rising 2, well, not off the record, just number 2, and Dead Rising 3 had original characters with their own stories, their own reasons. There was no need to bring back Frank West at all. If anything, make a Dead Rising 4, then make an off the record. Something like that. But then no, they just decided to go with it, change so much. I mean, I won't even entertain it. I won't even give them my money for that at all. But as I say, that's how these are the feelings that get invoked just by voice. Just by identifying with a character through their voice. If they'd have decided to change Colonel Campbell in Metal Gear Solid from who was it? I believe it was George Iding. Say they changed it from him to Dennis Hopper. Yes, I know Dennis Hopper's dead, but quite frankly, I just drew a blank and said Dennis Hopper. Don't judge me, please. But anyway, if they did decide to change his voice to that, then I would be the same. I'd be like, well, that's not the Colonel. Is this a completely different person? Is this meant to just be his son or his brother or something like that? Because you build relationships with these characters. I suppose it's the same in a movie. If all of a sudden they decided to just change the actor They did it with Iron Man. Terrence Howard left, Don Cheadle came in. Now a lot of people were like, oh yeah, but he was only a secondary character. I noticed Don Cheadle he didn't have the same chops as Terrence Howard to me. You know, he wasn't. I mean, Rhodey was funny. I mean, maybe it could have been the script, it could have been a number of things, but to me, he wasn't Rhodey. You know, Terrence Howard was Rhodey. Now as it's been going along and stuff like that, okay, I've just sort of accepted it, sort of thing. But as I say, all these things, you just sort of, you grow accustomed to a character. And as I say, imagine if God of War came out and they decided to replace his voice, Kratos' voice. There would be outcry, even though literally he spends most of the fucking games going, bah, 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 bah. If they changed that certain level of, you know, rawness, people would notice. People would go nuts. There'd be petitions. There'd be this. There'd be that. And to be honest with you, the fact that games industry thinks it's perfectly fine to just fucking dump voice actors when they want, I think is a bit criminal, really. I mean, surely they've got to be protected by unions and stuff like that. But anyway, bit of a different one today. As I say, this it just sort of came to me as I was playing Xenoblade. I thought, wow, you know, the voice acting is so great that hopefully in the next bloody game they won't completely change them all up like there seems to be the new thing. But thank you very much for watching. Please, if you've got any favourite voice actors in the comments, just let me know. You know, what sort of characters have come to life through their voice for you. You know, just let me know in the comments. And again, any suggestions for future topics, let me know. And again, thank you very much for watching. Bye.